The original Hebrew in the Tanakh, or the Old Testament, is extremely flexible and beautiful. However, it's often not easy for non-speakers to appreciate this because the biblical Hebrew style is all but lost in translation. In this video, I will try to show you a prime example of how the biblical language functions. So please stay with me. Hi and welcome. My name is Ilan and I'm a native Hebrew speaker and have been working with languages as a professional translator for more than 20 years now. We'll focus today on just one short word, which serves as a fine illustration of how the Hebrew Bible is written. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to ki. My loyal viewers might remember that we have encountered this two-letter word on this channel a few times already, and today we'll do a deeper dive to have a taste of the wide range of meanings it can have. First, it appears in Genesis 1 as part of the expression Vayar Elohim ki tov, or in English, and God saw that it was good. However, that, or that it was, is not at all the main usage of this word. As we will see shortly, ki has quite a few wildly different meanings. Okay, so what's the main meaning then? Well, it's because. A good example for this use is found in the very next chapter, in verse 3. God sanctified the seventh day because he rested on it after completing that momentous work. And because is the meaning of ki used by us Israelis even today. For example, the ultimate sentence used by parents to clarify and justify decisions to their kids is ki kacha amarti, because I said so. Ki is also commonly, though less frequently, used to denote when, like in Deuteronomy 17:14, where ki tavo means when you come to the promised land. An example of using ki I personally like the most is when Sarah laughed after hearing she was about to become pregnant at an old age. In Genesis 18:15, God confronted her and she denied ever giggling because she was afraid. But God wouldn't have it and said, "No, you did laugh," or "indeed laughed." Ki appears here as a utility used without any particular meaning, basically for emphasis. But it has another role. It separates between the no and the laughed. If dropped, and since there are effectively no punctuation marks in biblical Hebrew like we know them today, the verse actually might be read, "You did not laugh," i.e., just the opposite meaning. Last example is Joshua 17:18. Ki appears not less than 5 times, and other than this place that can be comprehended based on context as although or even though, and probably this one too, all the rest are up for interpretation. Before we wrap things up, let's quickly go over the letters in this word. The first is Kaf, which is the 11th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, equivalent to K in English. The second is Yod, which often has a Y sound, but here serves as a vowel to create a double E or EA sound, like in meat. We have covered here only some of the shades of ki in the Hebrew Bible, but I think you've got the idea. Please consider clicking on the thumbnail for a playlist of videos I'm making that will allow you to read the first chapter of Genesis in Hebrew without knowing a single word of the language, or just one word, because you're already familiar with ki. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.